Hello everyone, it's Topcrafter here. Today we're going to be talking about a really interesting block, the structure block. The structure block can be used to clone structures, most importantly, but also to perform other things. Today we're going to be talking about cloning structures. So as you can see, here's an example. We have this beautiful little tree right here, and let's say I wanted to clone it. So I've loaded everything up. And just like so, the structure block cloned exactly that tree. Just to prove a point here, I went ahead and built this sort of wall type thingy, only using structure blocks. I started off simply by placing blocks from here all the way down to here, and then I simply use a structure block to clone it over and over and over again. But how exactly do we use the structure block? So to start off, you want to build a structure. I'm just going to build a dirt wall. This is a beautiful little dirt hut. And we place down this structure block. Now make sure that the structure block is on save mode to save your structure. So first of all, you want to name your structure. I'm just going to call it dirt hut. And give it a structure size. I usually like to start with 10, 10, 10, and then we manage from there onwards. As you can see, it didn't select the dirt hut at all, and that's because we put it in the wrong position. Structure blocks by default will go to their right and forward. How do we fix this? No worries, we just want to go on this relative position box, and we just adjust it to -10. There it is. And that didn't work. So, no worries. We just changed the other variable. And there it is. It isn't perfect yet, so we just mess around with it. And just like that. So here we've got around about the dirt hut. Now the bounding box is a bit too big and it's one block too tall, so we just want to go on the relative position and bring it back down to 0. As theoretically you could be done, but if we want to paste it, we want to go on the load folder, insert the name, click load, and let's say that I want to build it right next to this hut. We just mess around with the relative position box. And make sure you don't press load. Just press done, unless you want to load it. In that case, you press load. But as you can see, it deleted the structure block and the rest of the structure. And that's because we had the bounding box a bit too big, and it selected the air blocks. So if you have an air block here, let's pretend that that's an air block, it is gonna paste it on the other side too. So make sure that your bounding box is just the size of the structure. So let's quickly rebuild that. And just like so. So, dirt hut, relative position. We're gonna go -3. No, not 0.3, -3. 0. And the structure size, we're gonna do 3, 3, 3. If we hit save, it isn't perfect yet. So we just mess around with these variables. And just like that, we have the dirt hut fully selected. Now, if you were to go on the other side and paste it in, it wouldn't work. Why is that? Because you need to click this save button. It's really important if you want to do it. If you want to actually, you need to do it if you want to save it. So in this case, I'm just going to place it right here. You want to go on load mode, insert the name, and click load. Change the relative position. This is the X, Y, and Z axis. It's just like in the F3 coordinate. Click done, do not click load or it's going to load it. Mess around with it, and when you're confident that you're done, you hit load. And just like that. Now let's say that I wanted to build another one, but we want to rotate it. So we just insert the name, insert the relative position, and click load. Now, as you can see, that doesn't do much because we still need to mess around with the relative position. unless you want to turn it around. If you want to flip it, you want to go to the bottom. This is the angle that you're going to load it in. So here, just like before, 90 degrees, 180, 270, back to normal. Let's say I wanted to rotate it 90 degrees. Hit load, and there it is. And that's the same exact principle I used to build this wall. Now, though, that's the basics of cloning structures. From now on, I'm going to be talking about some examples. Right, so the first example is just like that. If you want to build a wall, let's say I've built a wall out of stone really quickly. Let's just place it. And I wanted to build it much longer. All you need to do is place down the structure block, save, insert a name, insert a relative position. I recommend always putting that to 0. And if you don't see anything appear, that's probably because you left the Y box empty. Always put a number that is larger than 1. That is 1 or larger. And why is my game not working? There it is. And in case that still doesn't work, it's because you left another axis empty. In this case, the z-axis. The z-axis. So, as you can see, everything has been fixed. So again, just mess around with the coordinates. And just like so, we've selected the wall. I'm just going to extend a little bit because I don't want to change the variable. It's too much for me. And just like so. Now, I want to load it back in. And make sure you always hit save. That's important. I always forget to do that. Load, wall, load, change relative position, load. And just like so, it may leave an empty hole, and that means that you just need to place the structure block 1 block closer to the wall. Just to prove a point here, load, wall, 0, load, load. And that still doesn't work. So I have an answer for that. I have an answer to that. That's probably because you have this like this. As I said before, it's going to clone the air blocks too. So all you do to fix that is change the relative position. If I can get the right box. There it is, until it's like that. So, you now place it down, load, wall, relative position, load, done. And that still doesn't work, and that's because I forgot to hit save. That is always important. If you forget to hit save, it could cause some serious problems. So next up, let's see if it works now. Wall, relative position 0, load, and boom, done. Now, if it's just a stone wall, you could always use the /fill command. So fill, go to the other side, and just like that. It's as easy as that to fill it with the /fill command. But with more intricate walls like this one, it is going to be much tougher to do it with the /fill command. Right, moving on from that, another really cool use for the structure block is when building farms. When you're building huge farms, you don't want to go placing every single block by hand. If you use a structure block, on the other hand, just to clone a huge farm, let's pretend that there is a farm there, you can literally just save a farm, go to the other side, paste it, and instead of spending an hour, 2 hours, cloning that farm from position A to position B, it takes a minute maximum. Just for a point, I am going to build a farm, and let's see how long it takes. But having said that, let's grab our structure block, save, just rename it whatever you want. Make sure you fill up all these parameters. Click save, change the relative position if needed. Alright, here we go. I'm just finishing off. 9, nope, not 19. 9, no, I hate this. I said 9, and then 4. Click done, and we need to change relative position again. Done, and make sure you click save. Go up, load, farm, load, change the relative position. Or you can just go to the other side if you really wanted to. -8. 0. Done. When you're happy with how it looks, you click load. Now, having done that, I recommend always to just increase the size by just doubling it up, essentially. And then just keep on doing that until you reach your desired altitude or the height that the structure block maxes off at. In the 1.16, it's 48 by 48 by 48. In 1.15, it's 32 by 32. So just load that in. And as you can see, it's just going to keep on going until you reach the height limit, essentially. Alright, our final, how can I call it? Our final use for the structure block is, let's say you're trying to build a city, and you need a few skyscrapers. I am not a qualified builder of skyscrapers, so I'm just gonna do a bit of that. Gray, concrete, outline. Oops, I was meant to type in light gray. Oh well. Having done that, you just grab your structure block, save, skyscraper, 10, 10, 10. Now, if your structure isn't loading, or if you can't see the bounding box, make sure you will have all 3 parameters checked. So let's just, instead of using the relative position, you can just go to the other side. It'll make things much easier. 10, 10, 10, save, and that doesn't work either. So just, you can either experiment with the relative position or with the or just change the position. Skyscraper, relative position, 0, 10, 10, 10, done. Oh, 10, 10, 10, done, and just like so. Change the height. And just like that. Go to the top. Select load mode. Skyscraper. Relative position 0. Load, and what? Skyscraper is not available. Hit save. Go to the top like that. Click load. Yes, it was because I didn't hit save. And just like that, you can just keep on cloning it to the top. Same thing goes if you want to just select the whole structure and want to paste it somewhere else. You can also rotate it, and just like that. Now you can add structure blocks up here. Oh, and that's not right. That's not right. That's not right at all. Oh, well, you can just do this and make things high. I personally really like this method because it is much faster than just building it by hand, and especially if it has like windows, especially if it has windows in here. It is very important. It's like much easier just to use structure blocks instead of filling the area with one block and then placing the windows in by hand. Having said that, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow in a new video.